All I want is a straight answer. Did you know about it or didn't you? And when were you going to tell me, Mason, when the entire company was lost?
Dad, it's under control. Don't whip yourself into a frenzy. It's unattractive and not good for your health.
Don't you patronize me. This tells me it's out of control. Out of my children's control. Yeah, I spent all my life putting Capwell Enterprise from a family company to a multinational corporation for you, for all of you. Not so a pirate like Robert Barr can take it over.
See, there's something I don't understand. The article says that Barr is mainly interested in the Capwell Hotel. So what about the oil industry or the foreign holdings?
That's a very good question. Either one of you have an answer to that?
What's going on here, Daddy, is a family matter, not an open forum.
Meaning that the pleasure of my absence is requested, which is absolutely fine with me.
Well, it's not fine with me. I want you to stay here if you don't mind.
Thank you, Cece, but I've got work down at the guest house. Honestly, it's better this way. I will just see you later.
He's not going to pull this off, Daddy. We'll fight him.
Well, at least I have an answer to my question. You all knew about this, didn't you? You want to tell me for how long?
Not for long. Look, we knew there was a leak somewhere, but we didn't know it was Robert Barr until a few days ago.
And when you came over to question me and I told you about the kind of vulture this man is, you continued to lie to me. Why, Eden? Of all the people, I expected you to be always honest with me.
Well, I didn't tell you because I was afraid for you.
Afraid? What the hell is going on here? What do you think, I'm terminal or something?
No.
What am I going to have another heart attack and fall dead at your feet? Is that what you think's going to happen? Is that why you're so pleasant to me about how fine Tokyo is coming along? Is that what it is?
Well, something along those lines, yeah, Dad.
I think they did what they did out of love and concern for you.
All right, now just hear this, my darlings. You see, I have been chastised by my wives and my children for protecting you, overprotecting you out of love and concern. And maybe I am finally getting the point. But it's a little bit different right here. See, I feel a little bit of a cover-up. I turned the reins over to all of you, and none of you are admitting that you weren't quite up to the job.
Dad, you're acting like the takeover of Capwell Enterprises is a fait accompli. It isn't. You haven't even bothered to ask how we're handling the situation.
I have some idea how you're handling it the way you're handling me.
Listen, do you think maybe we could just sit down, relax, and talk about this calmly? I don't think the stress is particularly good for you.
You know what is not good for me? Being treated like a doddering fossil. I've handled this business for 30 years, all by myself, single-handedly. I never would have turned it over. I had one inkling that this was going to happen. Not one inkling. All right. I am the best equipped to handle Robert Barr because I've had some dealings with him. Some very bitter, disappointing dealings, which I was going to tell you about and started to tell you about, Eden.
I've been making a study of the way he operates.
Well,
Dad.
forget about it. The man doesn't deal the same cards twice. See, don't outsmart a predator, Mason, by reading up on him.
You might be surprised what you can learn from a little honest research, Dad.
Oh, please.
Like the SEC. Were you aware of the fact that Robert Barr had filed a 13D?
Are you telling me he already owns one of my companies?
A very minor interest in a minor operation. He managed to acquire 5% of the Northwestern subsidiary of Capwell Hotels through one of his holding companies. While you were still running the business.
Mason, stop.
I don't need to be coddled.
Mason, why didn't you tell me about this?
I just found out about it myself. Now, Barr was required by law to give a reason for making the purchase. Naturally, he went on record with some innocuous and misleading statements, which means that we might get him for making false statements.
Well, there's another possibility here. I mean, this could be a green mail scam. Barr could be angling to be bought out. Just a thought.
You are such fools. You are such babes in the woods. This man is not going to be trapped by one false statement or 10 false statements. He's got his butt covered 100 ways. He doesn't want to pay off. He wants the whole pie. He doesn't want chunks. I bet my life that he wants controlling shares of Capwell Enterprises. Damn it!
Dad?
Daddy, what is it?
Dad.
What is it? Are you okay?
Get some help.
It's his heart.
Get some help.
It's his heart.
Sit down, Dad.
His heartbeat has normalized and the EKG is fine. So, he's out of the woods for now.
Thank God.
But he has to stay away from business altogether. CC doesn't understand the meaning of moderation.
That's Dad, all or nothing, all the time.
Don't worry, we'll take care of him, Doctor.
And we'll make sure he gets plenty of rest.
Good. I'll be by to see him.
Thank you. Bye.
Well, this is what I was afraid of. Now we have to make him realize that going back to work might kill him. I just hope you two are strong enough to stand up to him.
Don't worry about us, Mason.
Do I detect a little edge in your voice, Eden?
It's just that all this solicitude rings a little false with me. I mean, I know you care about Daddy. I know you do, but you were more than willing to step in for me the minute I got distracted.
Well, Eden, I'm hurt. I would have thought you'd see that as a sign of devotion. At any rate, you're probably better off not trying to run a company while you're distracted. Predators like Barr can sniff out gaps in a company's leadership. That's when they move in.
I think that we ought to keep our priorities straight here. I think Cece's well-being comes first, and then the company.
They're intertwined. That's my whole point.
Well, my point is he feels betrayed, and that hurts him just as much as anything else.
I think we have to find out a way to let him know what's going on without getting him involved.
It's a little paradoxical, don't you think, Eden?
Well, how would we know? We hadn't tried it yet. We just shut him out. I don't want to argue with you, Mason, right now. I'm going to go upstairs and check on him.
I'll go with you.
How's Dad?
Much better. He's resting.
Megan's with him.
Where did Julia go?
She, had an urgent call from a client.
He told me he has confidence in us, Mason.
Well, you could have fooled me, but I'm glad to hear it.
You know, the one thing I've learned about all this is to trust my instincts. We should have gone to him the minute we suspected anything about Robert Barr.
And you'll never forgive me for telling you to do otherwise.
No, I'll forgive you. I just won't let it happen again. Capwell Enterprises was more than a business to Daddy. It was his whole life. Retiring didn't change that.
What if we lose the business?
Kelly, we're not going to lose the business because we're not going to run scared. What we're going to do is take a page out of Robert Barr's own book and start using the media to our own advantage.
You mean use Gina to use the media?
You know, his style is truly amazing. Staying at a luxury suite in the Capwell Hotel while announcing his intention to ruin us.
The irony must amuse him.
I wonder if he really thinks that taking us over is really going to be a piece of cake.
I'm sure he assumes we're more vulnerable because we're a family-run business.
He doesn't know our family.
No, I think he does. I think he's done in-depth studies on all of us.
Good, Eden. Now you're getting the gist of his SOP.
I think we should go back to your office and look up all the files on the Capwell holdings. Make sure he didn't manage to acquire 5% of any of our companies.
I think our first priority should be to diffuse the impact of this article.
The best way to do that is to make sure it doesn't come true. Mason, I appreciate everything you've done, but I am running this company now, and I should be the one to determine this strategy.
Ooh, does this mean I should look for a pink slip in my paycheck this week?
Not a chance. I think we should put our differences aside and try to do this together. Real estate holdings in the Pacific Rim are worth more than $600 million. The controlling interest is owned by us, of course, and Robert Barr is not among the shareholders.
Not even under another name?
The rest of the stock has been accounted for.
Even the Hawaiian development?
Well, there are some companies we really should check out. The Western Sky Development and the Hallowell Group.
Interesting operation, the Hallowell Group. I thought about buying it up at one point, but I changed my mind. Right now, the mainland interests me more than the islands. I'm sorry for interrupting. The receptionist was away from the desk.
Out to lunch. Please, come in, Mr. Barr.
And you must be the little sister.
Not since I was 12. My name is Kelly.
I know. That's a very lovely brooch you've got on there. Where'd you get that?
I don't remember. What is it that you want, besides Capwell Enterprises?
Well, I came to apologize for that article.
Why? You had Gina Timmons plant it.
Well, I didn't expect it to be as aggressive sounding as it turned out.
Oh, I think it sounded exactly the way you wanted it to sound. That you were going to buy our corporation, and you're going to break it all up and sell off the pieces.
I think the word was restructure.
Pirating is the word that I would use.
Well, if not me, it'll be somebody else. You know, your father's been very stubborn and short-sighted, insisting on keeping the business a family operation. He should have protected himself a little more carefully.
My father has built this organization all of his life, almost single-handedly. He has defended attacks from God only knows who. Some people you would imagine and some you wouldn't. He was eating corporate raiders for brunch before you were even born. See, what makes our company so fascinating to people like you is because it has a lot of things that you don't. It's got tradition, solidarity, loyal shareholders. You may be able to worm in around the edges, but that's as far as you're going to get. You're a sensation. You're a boy wonder. The latest flash in the pan, but to us, you're just a nuisance. You see, Capwell Enterprise is going to be around, family-run, unrestructured, long after everybody stopped asking who in the world was Robert Barr.
Brava.
Mason.
Mr. Barr.
Well, I must say, I admire your passion, Mrs. Castillo. It reminds me of my own. People like us make formidable opponents. Everything's always a life and death matter. But on a purely practical side, the old maxim that everyone has their price still generally holds true, even for loyal shareholders. I'll be seeing you.
Good day. Mr. Barr. Ma, you were formidable. I don't know if I could have done that much better myself.
Thanks.
Well, I was more tired than I realized.
Well, you're admitting it at least. That's progress.
Well, since I'm turning over a new leaf, I guess I better start by taking a nap, huh?
Good.
When I get back, I want to talk about the book.
Okay. As long as you don't try to do too much the first day.
Moderation, Miss Richardson, moderation. I just want to see the notes you've written so far. That's all. Just have everything ready.
Okay. I've got them down at the guest house. I'll go get them. Have a nice nap.
Come on, admit it, huh? This is the best idea anybody's come up with so far, and I'm the right person to pull it off. Think about it. Think of what it would mean to have someone on the inside of Barr's operation.
And we'd know what he was doing before he did it.
Exactly.
I have heard situations like that working out quite successfully.
I don't like it. He discovers Rick's on our payroll, and then he feeds us false information deliberately. We're worse off than when we started.
I'll make sure he doesn't suspect anything. And by the way, Sandra is working for Barr as a paid consultant, you know.
I'm not surprised. Are you two an item now?
She trusts me.
That's not what I asked. Why are you volunteering to help us?
Because I'm the one person who can, with Sandra's help. She tells me everything.
And you'll come running to us with all her little psychic goodies, is that it?
Need I remind you that Sandra was helping Cruz and me? And she made up a pack of lies just to suit her own purpose.
I know when she's telling the truth.
You certainly have her under your thumb.
Well, I hate to say it, but I don't really feel comfortable with sinking to Barr's level.
How are you going to fight him, then? The guy plays dirty, and he gets away with it because he knows all the loopholes. So while you're out feeling virtuous, this guy's going to be stealing your company right out from under your nose.
If you were found out, we'd lose our credibility, not to mention our pristine image.
What pristine image? I know you know some of the stunts that Daddy pulled.
Yeah, I engineered a few of them.
Yeah, well, we're trying to clean up our act, right? I'd rather not slide backwards.
I'm not going to get caught. Believe me, I'm very good at this thing. Getting in and out of trick places. Eden, you haven't forgotten Mephisto's place already, have you?
Oh, please don't. What do you think, Kelly?
I think we can handle this on our own.
All right, so be it. I thought my special skills could come in handy for you, but I guess you do know what's best for yourselves, huh?
Thanks anyway.
You bet. You know where you can find me if you change your mind.
I'll be right back.
Kelly, I know you think it's a good idea. Why didn't you say so?
Maybe we don't trust you. How do we know you're not working for Barr? You and your girlfriend.
You don't really believe that, do you? I think you know I could help you save your company. You're just afraid of me.
What would you want in return?
only what was fair. Think about it. Then why don't you come on up and see me? We'll discuss it. Can't hurt, can it?
CC, I thought you were...
I'll bet you did. That's one of your weaknesses, underestimating me. That's why you're never going to get your hands on my company.